Hi everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. Tonight's video is going to be me round 9 tips for the 2022 NRL season. This round sees most of these games with teams inside the top 8 against teams outside the top 8. There's only one top 8 clash for the entire week, and there's also a couple of matches which see clubs down towards the bottom of the table go against each other. So let's start off with the first match, which is kicking off on Thursday night. And that first match to start us off on Thursday night is between South Sydney and Brisbane, and this one's being played at Stadium Australia. South Sydney sat in 6th place at the moment, Brisbane in 9th. Both of these sides have had indifferent starts to the year, hot and cold. Brisbane won in round 1, 11 points so far up there at Suncorp Stadium. I tipped Brisbane to win that game, and they were quite good for the win in that match. Brisbane's last win at Stadium Australia was in round 8 of the 2018 season, where they made the finals. This is a very tough game to pick because both sides have been quite indifferent, and it's been hard to pick them both this year, and the results have been up and down. Going off the two matches that I watched last week between these two sides, Brisbane against Cronulla and South Sydney against Manly, I'm leaning towards Brisbane to win this match. I think that they were very good against Cronulla. With South Sydney's victory over Manly, they did score 40 points, but before that send-off for Carl Lawton, South Sydney looked in a bit of trouble. They were down at 10 points to 2 at one stage, and that send-off kind of changed the whole match. And I think Brisbane would have got a lot of confidence out of beating Cronulla on last Friday, so I'll go for Brisbane to win. This game could go either way, but I'll go for Brisbane to win 1-12 on the Thursday night against South Sydney. The first match on the Friday sees Canberra against Canterbury-Bankstown. This one's being played at GIO Stadium. Canberra's sitting in 14th place at the moment. Canterbury sat in 15th place. Canberra's won the last 5 meetings against these two sides. Canterbury's last win against Canberra come in round 9, 2017. And their last win in Canberra was in round 11, 2015. So all the recent records go in Canberra's favour. However, for Canterbury, they did have a morale boosting win over Eastern Suburbs last week. Canberra have lost their last 5 matches in a row. They haven't been playing well. Can this be the moment? Could the moment where Canterbury beat Eastern Suburbs last week be the springboard for the rest of their season? I think that they'll be going into this match with a lot of confidence after having beaten Eastern Suburbs there at Stadium Australia. This is a very tough match to call. It could go either way. I will go for Canterbury to win though. I'll go for them to win between 1-12 points. One of the things that led me towards Canterbury is the fact that Jack Whiten is out for 4 weeks. He's been suspended. That's a massive blow for Canterbury. He's one of their best players, and he's one of the players that leads them around the field, and he scored some very important tries for them. So I'll go for Canterbury to win 1-12. I'm confident that they can make it 2 in a row down there in the nation's capital. The main match on the Friday sees Penrith up against Parramatta. This one's being played at Penrith Park. Penrith sat in 1st, undefeated this year. Parramatta in 5th. Penrith have won their last 5 encounters against Parramatta. Parramatta's only won twice at Penrith Park since 2015. And also for Penrith, another good boost for them if things aren't already going great enough. Brian To'o's back from injury. Parramatta's got a lot of players out, especially in the back line. Penrith are playing with immense confidence, and they're playing very well as a unit. They're really enjoying their rugby at the moment. It's going to be hard to see where teams are going to beat them this year. So I will go for Penrith to win this match 13+. I think they'll be too good for Parramatta on the Friday night there, and I think that Penrith will win well over Paris. So yeah, I'll go Penrith to win 13+. The first match on Super Saturday sees Manly Warringah up against West Tigers. Manly sat in 8th at the moment, West Tigers in 13th. The last time that West Tigers played at Brookvale Oval, it was in round 2020, and they beat Manly 34 points to 32. That was a memorable comeback by West Tigers. And if you remember, Russell Packer and Josh Reynolds left at half-time and got in big trouble by the West Tigers board over that decision to leave the ground early. For Manly, Guacamole's back in the side. I know his nickname's Hamoli Okolatu, but I call him Guacamole. Brad Parker's out for the season though, however. Jason Saab's out for 3 to 4 weeks. And Tom Trbojevic is looking to get back into this side for this game. So if he is included in this match, it'll be a massive boost for Manly Warringah, especially after what happened last week against South Sydney. I'm going to tip Manly to win this game 1-12 on the Saturday. I think Manly are generally very good at home there at Brookfield Oval. I think they'll get the job done. West Tigers, once again, it's shades of the last couple of years. They beat Parramatta, they beat South Sydney, and then they lose to St George. It's like the other year when they beat Melbourne and Eastern Suburbs but didn't make the final. So I'm going to go for Manly to win this match 1-12. I'm confident they'll get the victory over West Tigers. The second match on Super Saturday sees Sydney Roosters up against the Gold Coast. This one's being played in neutral territory at BB Prince Stadium in Mackay. Eastern Suburbs have won their last 8 matches against the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast's last victory against Sydney Roosters was in round 10 2016, so a very long time for Gold Coast supporters wanting to get a victory over East. And also David Fafita's out, one of their best players and probably their star player in terms of how much money they've spent on him. David Fafita's out for 4 weeks from what I've read. Eastern Suburbs have been very indifferent to start the year. They've been frustrating, and they haven't been getting the results that they probably expect. But I think eventually one time it will click for them. They've got the squad to win. So I'll go for Eastern Suburbs to win this match 1-12 on the Super Saturday there in Mackay. And the final game on Super Saturday is between North Queensland and Newcastle. This one's being played at Queensland Country-Bank Stadium in Townsville. North Queensland are sat in third at the moment. Newcastle are last on for and against. Newcastle's last win in Townsville was in round 2, 2015. It's the year that North Queensland went on to win the Premiership. And before that, their last win in Townsville was 2011. So Newcastle have a very poor record over the last decade in Townsville. In their last 2 games, they've only scored 4 points. They're up against the North Queensland side that are playing very, very well at the moment, playing with a lot of confidence. And I just can't tip Newcastle. They're not really offering me any other choice than to tip North Queensland because North Queensland have been playing very well. So I'll go for North Queensland to win this match 1-12 on the Super Saturday. And I think Newcastle will spend another week at the bottom of the table. The first match on the Sunday sees Melbourne up against St George. This one sees Melbourne in 2nd, St George in 10th. And this one's being played at Amy Park. St George have never won at Amy Park. They've played 5 matches there and they've lost all 5. Their last win in Melbourne come on September the 4th, 1999, where they beat Melbourne 34 points to 10 in week 1 of the finals there at the old Olympic Park. St George have an awful record down there in Melbourne. However, they have won their last 3 matches in the NRL, and they're sat just outside the top 8 there. And as for Melbourne, I think that's it. They'll definitely finish top 2 this year. I think it's them and Penrith will finish top 2. I will go for Melbourne to win this game. I'll go for them to win 13+. I really, really want St George to win this game, but I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, Melbourne will win 13+. The final game to close out the round, it's Cronulla-Sutherland up against New Zealand. This one's being played at Shark Park. Cronulla sat in 4th at the moment, New Zealand in 11th. Cronulla have won 8 of their last 10 matches against New Zealand. They are a bit of a bogey side for New Zealand, and New Zealand's record at Shark Park isn't very good. They've only won 5 games there since 1995, and their last was in 2015. Cronulla will be looking to bounce back after being upset by Brisbane last week. And with New Zealand, I'm not really surprised that they won against Canberra. They had to give a response after being belted there by Melbourne 70 points to 10. I will go for Cronulla to win this match. I'll go for them to win 1-12. I think that their hoodoo over New Zealand will continue. They're very strong at home. They haven't lost at home this year. So I will go Cronulla to win 1-12 on the Sunday. So that is my tips for round 9 of the 2022 NRL season. I'm going for Brisbane, Canterbury-Bankstown, Penrith, Manly-Warringah, Eastern Suburbs, North Queensland, Melbourne and Cronulla-Sutherland. Let me know in the comment section below who you're tipping this week. And thank you for tuning in for this video. I'll be doing another video very, very shortly, and I'll be on the View from the North podcast episode 3. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I'll catch us all later. Tatty bye for now.